What's up, everyone? First of all, thanks for getting me to 250k subscribers. It's pretty insane now that I think about it. That's 250,000. And I don't even know how to really thank you for that. I didn't expect to get this far at all. It's pretty crazy. And because of how crazy it is, I wanted to do something special for it. I've done specials for like 100k, 200k before, but no. This isn't just gonna be a normal what if. It's gonna be a celebration of sorts, a tournament of power between certain what ifs. I actually did a poll asking how to select teams for this, and most people voted to use my most popular scenarios. But a few of you brought up a good point saying that it might not be fair doing it like that because some of the more popular scenarios might be eliminated immediately, and there's also the fact that they all release at different times, so of course older scenarios are going to be more popular since they have more views regardless. So sorry to go against the poll, but I'm going to go with random. It does seem more fair that way. To do so, I went on the playlist, which I will link above, and just shuffled it to give me random scenarios. I've also excluded one part what if minis because some of those get crazy powerful and there's less to work with there in terms of lore. And also another obvious thing is that I'm going to only be doing full series here. So anything that's currently ongoing, that won't be included here. But I will note that some of these series didn't continue into the Moro and Granola arcs, so I'll just start everything from where they ended. This will be the same format as the Tournament of Power where we get 8 teams. Also, dead characters will be allowed to join, just like the normal Tournament of Power. And villains can join too if there's a shortage of members, just to make the teams more unique. This takes place after the conclusion to these stories, and also I will mention too. As a final disclaimer, this isn't going to be an accurate power scaling of any of these series. I mean, they are fanfiction in the first place, so it's not really accurate to begin with, but keep that in mind, this is mainly for fun. It's not to say, oh, this series is stronger than the other, it's literally just so we could have a batshit insane tournament. We want to get crazy for 250k. Alright, 2 minutes in, we're finally going to get to the teams. Team 1 will be what if Saiyans kept their tails. Team 2 will be what if Goten trained like Goku. Team 3 will be what if Gohan and Goten were twins. Team 4 is legendary Super Saiyan Vegeta. Team 5 is what if Cell was reincarnated. Team 6 is what if Salad was in Dragon Ball. I'm excited for that one. Team 7 is what if Frieza raced Kakarot. And Team 8 will be what if Super Buu turned good. As for the setup of all this, Zeno gets bored. Really bored. Knowing of other Zenos and other timelines, he decides he's going to check these other timelines too to make a fun tournament. This is a Zeno in a universe where all the other timelines are actually different what ifs of mine. Probably an infinite amount of timelines, actually. But of course, hearing this, each universe is going to flip out, knowing that they might have to fight themselves. Some will even pick fighters from the future, which Zeno won't really care about. As long as it's fun, that's all he wants. Team 1 will be Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cargo, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Krillin, Tien, and Roshi. Yeah, I'm going to go through these pretty fast because I have 8 teams to cover. Team 2 is interesting because it's Goten, Trunks, Goten Black, Gohan, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, 17 and 18. Team 3 will be Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin, 18, Yamcha, and Tenshinhan. Team 4 is Vegeta, Trunks, Goku, Gohan, Goten, Future Trunks, Future Gohan, Future Vegeta, Piccolo, and Krillin. Team 5 is Saibo, Piccolo, Vegeta, Pikkon, Goku, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, 17 and 18. Team 6 is Salad, who's in an angel form I guess now, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Balsa, Caesar, Sen, Frieza, and Cold. They did need some extra people, so Frieza and Cold are there. And the Salad Juniors are going to be pretty helpful. Team 7 will be Frieza, Metal Cooler, Janemba, Kakarot, Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, Broly, Tenshinhan, and Krillin. And Team 8 will be Buu, Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, 18, and Krillin. Whew, oh my god. So immediately as the tournament begins, all the universes come to learn that while their universes have the same origins, one thing changed in each universe that led them to where they are today. For example, Saibo's intrigued to meet Salad. One's a reincarnation of Cell and one's basically a different version of Cell. Goten from Team 2 is surprised to see that Team 3 has Gohan and Goten being twins, and wonders if it was the same scenario there, but actually the reason Goten is older is because he's the same age as Gohan. There's also a universe where Kakarot stayed as Kakarot, I guess, which of course all the Gokus are interested to see. As for Team 1, everyone's confused as to why they have their tails. Also, they see Super Buu, but he's good on Team 8 for some reason. Team 4 also seems confusing to others too because there's multiple of each fighter, with Team 7 and 8 seeing Vegeta and Trunks are like Broly in a way. Apparently they have a similar power to him. Also, all the Piccolos are shocked to see another Namekian here, since Cargo is in the tournament too. Backstory aside, now we can get into the actual tournament itself. Let's be honest here though, I love the humans, but we can't pretend that they would make it too far into the tournament compared to some of these people. A lot of them are very strong. Not to say that the humans aren't strong, in these scenarios some of them are actually stronger than normal. But to keep things fair, and since everyone's fighting each other, the humans would probably just fight themselves. The stronger fighters would go after the stronger fighters, I mean that's a smarter strategy regardless. But there's also the fact that the Saiyans would want to fight the other Saiyans. Or the Piccolos would want to fight the other Piccolos. So the humans would probably fight the other humans, and that would keep things pretty fair. Team 7's humans are probably the weakest since they lived in a mostly Saiyan-free and somewhat villain-free planet, and their training wasn't as crazy, so they would go first, with some of the other humans being eliminated pretty early on. Team 5 would probably see the most eliminations first. It's a strong universe, but not everyone on this team is crazy strong. For example, Goku is a lot weaker than normal, and Pikkon won't help too much even though he is powerful. Even if the other fighters may be stronger, it's not that amazing. Although there are people like Saibo and Piccolo on the team. Salad might end up fighting Saibo because, again, the two of them are pretty similar, different versions of Cell essentially. It's a pretty cordial fight. And that's another thing too, since all the universes are mostly the same, well, except for the teams with people like Frieza on them, a lot of the fights are very respectful because people are just fighting each other essentially. But in this scenario, Salad would definitely win over Saibo. Saibo is strong, but Salad is a lot stronger. So he defeats Saibo, and then the rest of the team is going to fall apart since he was basically the glue holding it together. Team 5 is the first to get eliminated as a whole. Many people would be focusing on villains too, kind of like I touched upon before. They're wild cards, so even people that have villains on their team would keep an eye on them. Another likely thing here is that the Friezas would probably try to team up, betraying King Cold and Cooler. Now, Metal Cooler would be a very fearsome opponent. Even his team doesn't like him, it's just he's there because he's strong. Although, there is one really good handicap for him that helps the others. He doesn't have the big Getty Star with him. He could probably try to create one here, but he doesn't have the materials for it. So he's not going to go around restraining people absorbing their powers. That's just Metal Cooler who can regenerate. Again, this team was pretty short on fighters, so hey, they took what they could get. Which is also why Janemba is on the team. But in their eyes, this could work out because the villains will be fighting the other strong people. And as long as the villains aren't the last one in the ring, they're okay. And with the different Friezas teaming up, they're going to be eliminated pretty quickly because other Vegetas would probably focus on him, especially the two legendary Super Saiyan Vegetas. All the Vegetas here basically have an inherent bias against Frieza. But with these two probably being the strongest Vegetas here, they're going to take it into their own hands, not only defeating both Friezas, but also King Cold. And the two legendary Super Saiyan Vegetas also fight Metal Cooler, which is a bit tough at first, but they're able to overcome his regeneration and actually knock him out of the ring. They're making some pretty good progress fighting together, and this draws a lot of attention to their universe. It's not just them either, there's also the two Trunkses there that are both legendary Super Saiyans as well. And with some of Team 7's fighters being eliminated, well, Janemba is a wild card and is just attacking basically anybody, but now that he knows his team is at risk, meaning he's at risk, he's probably going to try to attack these Vegetas as well. Janemba faces both of them, and Team 7 doesn't even try to help. To be honest, he's kind of a liability, so they let it happen. Although, Team 7 as a whole might try to face Team 4, and Team 4 would definitely win. The two Trunkses and Vegetas definitely intrigue Team 7, but they are way stronger than the other Saiyans. Kakarot does consider fusing too, like he did before, but it would be too risky in this ring, especially if it fails. And I think Broly might even have a chance against the legendary Super Saiyans, but no. Even though their powers are similar, the two Vegetas are much more controlled. Even the Trunkses, and technically it is a different form, but that doesn't really matter. Even though Team 7's powerful, they are eliminated, being dismantled because part of the team was villains. Next up, Team 3 faces Team 2 because the older Gotens. And let's be honest here, I think What If Gohan and Goten Were Twins was one of my favorite scenarios ever, and as much as I love that scenario, there is no way in hell that Team 3 Goten would win against Team 2 Goten. The whole point of that scenario is that he trained like Goku, and he got so insanely powerful that, yeah, it's not going to be a contest, especially with Goten Black fighting alongside him. And that brings me to another point. Fusions begin occurring. Kakarot from Team 7 was considering it, but now, more people are going to be doing that. Boo also would probably try and absorb his teammates to be stronger. This isn't just Super Boo, this is a new evolution of him. He's done this before in that same scenario, but here, he needs a brand new name for it. He'll call this Hyper Boo. Boo with his entire universe's team absorbed. On Team 1, Goten and Trunks fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Gotenks. And there's another really interesting fusion that occurs. Goten and Goten Black. They perform the fusion dance. Each of them know this technique. But then they stop midway between. Wait, why not just use the Patara? They already have them. So they place the Patara on, fusing together, creating merged Goten. And a battle between fusions begins. One of the biggest fights here is Goten, or merged Goten I guess, versus Gotenks. And even though Gotenks is very strong at Super Saiyan 4, merged Goten is such an amazing fusion because it's two Gotens together. Not to mention, he has access to Ultra Instinct, so that makes it kind of one-sided. This draws a lot of focus to him, and even though he's confident with Ultra Instinct, with him using so much power in this fusion, it eventually defuses right after. Team 1 ends up retaliating against them, and dismantles the rest of Team 2, meaning Team 2 is eliminated despite having very strong fighters. Another big fight that happens is Salad versus Super Boo. Two fighters that are somewhat of an amalgamation of the rest of their team, albeit each in different ways. Salad tries to absorb some of Super Boo's power, but he's far too fast and strong, and this worries Salad. He knew Boo would be powerful with everyone absorbed, but this is different. The Salad Juniors join him too to fight. And even Boo is amazed at his own power. He's glad he gets to fight someone like this though. He thought that this late into the tournament, getting this powerful would mean all the fights would be very easy. But now he's having a lot more fun, even though he's only using a fraction of his power. This surprises Salad. This is only a fraction of his power? And with these, Boo eliminates the Salad Juniors and then Salad himself. The rest of Team 6 goes as well. And now there's 3 teams left. Team 1, Team 4, and Team 8. As for the legendary Super Saiyans on Team 4, they're continuously growing stronger, and the two Vegetas wonder if they could pull off a form like Super Saiyan 4, maybe even better. But that's going to be saved for another time. There's definitely no way they could do that during this tournament. Although, there is another option. So, Team 4 gets mostly eliminated except for Vegeta's family, the 2 Trunkses and 2 the Vegetas. And right now, the 2 Vegetas are using the most powerful forms, legendary Super Saiyan God. And alongside the Trunkses, they are faring well. But now with less people in the ring, there's more focus on them, especially with their team being so small right now. On Team 1, Goku and Vegeta would probably try and fuse to Gogeta, but everyone knows to expect that by now. It would be too tough for that, and Boo would probably try to stop them before it even happens. Meaning, Gogeta is stopped before he's even made, and Goku and Vegeta on that team are eliminated, with Team 4 then finishing off Team 1 trying to help out Team 8. Accidentally, of course, it's more so to help themselves. And now, there's only 2 teams left in the ring with 5 people. Well, technically more because Boo is a bunch of people. But right now in the ring we have Team 4, which is Vegeta, Future Vegeta, Trunks, and Future Trunks, versus Team 8, which is just Boo. And the 2 Vegetas really do want to fuse. It seems that Potara is allowed for fusion. Thinking that it might be helpful and remembering when he used it in his own timeline, President Vegeta from Team 4 actually does have Potara with him. It was allowed with Goten Black, so maybe he could use it here. He doesn't know the fusion dance, and even if he did, it would be stopped pretty easily. But Potara, you can't stop that. He turns to Future Vegeta, saying to just trust him. They saw how powerful Merged Goten was, so why not create a Merged Vegeta? And that's exactly what they do. The 2 Trunks is trying to hold off Boo. Of course, they can't really do too much against him, but they do serve as a distraction. The 2 Vegetas fused, creating a new fighter known as Fused Vegeta or Merged Vegeta, whatever you want to call him, or simply just Vegeta. Just like the 2 Gotens fusing, this is a very compatible fusion. Actually, more so. With Goten and Goten Black, they technically weren't the same person, and they did have different powers. Of course, the 2 Vegetas here are at different powers too. But they are both Vegeta, purely Vegeta. It's a perfect fusion between the 2 of them. And immediately, also remembering the flaws of Goten's fusion, he goes Legendary Super Saiyan God, trying not to use too much energy, regulating it in this form. Thankfully, the Godly Ki here helps him regulate it. Even though the Trunkses did a good job distracting Boo, they're both eliminated. And now Boo is going to face this one fighter. How fitting, 2 fusions being the last 2 in the ring. Boo may have an advantage though, he has magic and regeneration, although Vegeta's powerful, and Boo knows not to underestimate him. Vegeta tells Boo, let's finish this quick. He sticks out his hands in front of him, beginning to charge an attack. Boo agrees. This time he'll go all out. Vegeta charges a legendary Gamma Burst Flash, and Boo, well, he charges his own attack, kind of an amalgamation of all his fighters within him. He'll call this the Hyper Kame Flash Cannon. He thinks it's a fun name. A beam struggle ensues, one that's incredibly insane. The Zenos absolutely love it. Boo puts more power into it, and Vegeta decides to unleash more power, knowing that he might shorten the fusion zone. And since this is their last attack, he decides to go all out, holding nothing back. He slowly begins pushing Boo's beam back, but Boo has a plan. He chops off a piece of himself, sneaking around the beam struggle. And as Merged Vegeta continues firing his attack, he notices something wrap around his leg, and then his other leg. Damn it, he forgot. He tries to power up even more, summoning more of his anger, but he then defuses by doing so. And Boo ends up absorbing both the Vegetas, although he doesn't fully assimilate them within him, because that would mean they're still in the ring. So, with the 2 Vegetas essentially restrained, he drops them out of the ring. And now, Boo's the only one left, being declared the victor. He separates the rest of the team out of him, with all of them unconscious and waking up not long after. They ask Boo what happened, and Boo just gives them a thumbs up. They did it. He thanks them all for lending their power to him once again. Because of that, Team 8 is the victor here. What if Super Boo Turned Good won this tournament of power? Although, this might not be the last one I do. The Zenos here really enjoyed this, so maybe there'll be another one in the future. Who knows though? And don't worry, the other universes aren't being eliminated. Zeno was doing this purely for fun. And of course, he does want to do this again in the future. There's no point in erasing the timelines, or testing them and try to use the Super Dragon Balls. Because as all the other Zenos are talking to each other, they realize a lot of these universes are pretty good. The mortals in them, there's no reason to eliminate them. And this is where we conclude this tournament. So what did you guys think? If we ever see another in the future, what series would you like to see represented? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, be sure to drop a like on the video. It really helps out the channel and lets me know you want to see more like this. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And once again, thank you all for bringing me to this milestone. It's a huge achievement and I can't thank you guys enough. I've got some big projects in the future too, so be on the lookout for those. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thanks for letting me hit 250k subs, and I'll see you all on whatever video is next.